tonight on Elon Local News.
You've seen the viral video. Now the two girls who made Catherine's dream a reality have caught the attention of a certain talk show host.
The fight for gender identification is hitting Elon's campus and making a positive difference.
And start your engines, these speed junkies are tearing up the track.
All that and more.
Elon Local News starts right now.
Hello and welcome to Elon Local News. I'm Sky Cowens.
And I'm Jackie Pascal. Today was a magical day for Acorn Coffee Shop employee Catherine and Elon students Taylor Zisseltz and Lucy Smith-Williams.
The three flew to Los Angeles and were on the Ellen DeGeneres show to talk about the Disney surprise that went viral. Let's take a look.
All right, so you raised $10,000, and our friends at Shutterfly want to match that and give you another $10,000 so that you can... And for the two of you, we're going to send you on a 6-day trip to Turtle Bay Resort on Hawaii's North Shore of Hawaii. You're going to relax at the skies in a paddleboard, kayak. If you want to, you don't have to, but you do those things. So you're going to Hawaii, and you're getting $10,000, and it's a good day for everybody.
Now, the show taped last week, but our cameras were with Taylor 2 hours ago to capture her reaction when she watched it on TV.
Everything about the Ellen show was just positive and warm and upbeat, and it was just an amazing environment with an incredible person. Ellen is just so sincere and genuine, and she just genuinely cared about little old me. What? It was great.
Now, Jackie, you have been following this story since the very beginning, and you were actually there when Catherine found out that she was going to Disney World. I know I cry every time I watch the video, so what was it like for you actually being there?
Oh my goodness, it was ridiculous. I mean, you can see me in the back of the video of the full reveal, and I'm holding my heart, and I'm just so overwhelmed with emotions. It was absolutely incredible to see Catherine get that kind of surprise. It was so sweet. She's so deserving. It's amazing.
Such a beautiful story.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right, now let's move on to some other news happening across the nation today. Our Christy Matino is in the studio with the stories making headlines. Christy?
Jackie and Sky, an earthquake struck northeastern Afghanistan today, destroying multiple structures and killing dozens. According to CNN, the death toll has risen to more than 180 people, and even more have been injured. The earthquake's magnitude was 7.5 and happened 139 miles below the Earth's surface. A whale-watching boat sank off the coast of Western Canada Sunday night, killing a total of 5 people. As of now, 21 people have been rescued and 1 is still missing. The cause of the accident is still unknown. The World Health Organization announced today that eating processed meat can cause cancer, and that red meat likely does too. Their research unit now labels processed meat in the highest category of carcinogen, along with cigarettes. The WHO says eating 50 grams of processed meat each day, that's just 2 to 3 slices of bacon, increases the risk of colon cancer by 18%. Jackie and Sky, back to you.
Junior Ben Bridges is in critical but stable condition tonight after sustaining injuries last week in a pedestrian accident while studying abroad in Peru. According to an email sent to a number of Bridges' friends and colleagues by Dean Janelyn Patterson, Ben is awake, stable, and able to move his limbs. If you would like to send a card or note to Ben and his family, you can bring it to the Office of Student Health and Wellness, where they will be delivered as soon as possible. Stick with ELN as we continue to update this story.
If you live off campus, you probably receive your power from Duke Energy. The company announced this morning that they are buying Piedmont Natural Gas for almost $5 billion. According to the Associated Press, the companies are already key partners in a project to build an Atlantic Coast pipeline. This will be the first major natural gas pipeline to serve eastern North Carolina. The transaction has been approved by both companies, but the merger must be approved by shareholders and the North Carolina Utilities Commission. The deal is targeted to be closed by the end of 2016.
An Alamance County pro-Confederate group traveled to Chapel Hill Sunday afternoon to protest the removal of a Civil War statue. This happened after students held a protest earlier this month to remove the Silent Sam statue at UNC Chapel Hill. Silent Sam was erected in 1913 to commemorate UNC students who fought for the Confederate Army. In the past, the statue has been vandalized with words like murderer, Black Lives Matter, and KKK.
2 men were wounded in a shooting at a Burlington bar this weekend, making it the 3rd shooting in the city in less than 2 weeks. Burlington police responded to shots fired at 1:58 a.m. Saturday morning at Black Jack's, a bar on North Church Street. The victims, both Burlington residents, were admitted to Alamance Regional Medical Center. They have been identified as Derek Lee McNeil and Corey Adrian Wiley. Wiley was treated and released for a gunshot wound to the leg, and McNeil has been transferred to a different medical facility where he is being treated for his multiple gunshot wounds.
An Alamance County house fire on October 11th decimated one family's belongings. And now a class here at Elon has jumped in to help.
A mother and 2 boys were living in the house and all were able to escape. Elon professor Sandra Reed and her Human Services class is working with the Positive Attitude Youth Center, where one of the boys attends an after-school program.
Elon freshman Amy Belfer is in the class and was shocked when she saw the destruction.
They lost everything. I mean, the structure of the house is still there, but inside everything's gone. They lost like all of their belongings, and it also went so far that it affected their car and burnt half of their car as well.
The class contacted the family and is doing a number of things to help rebuild their life, such as creating a GoFundMe page and holding a clothing drive.
We've had a few phone calls back and forth with her. We set up a UCares account for them through the Positive Attitude Youth Center so that anyone who wants to donate has a way to do so. And we got all of the family's clothing sizes and their ages so that we could create a drive for clothing and toys and anything else they might need.
Today, the kids returned to school for the first time since the fire and will be at the Positive Attitude Youth Center this week. The family is currently staying at their grandmother's home.
If you would like to donate, you can find the link to the GoFundMe page on our website. And Peter Usash, co-owner of Pandoras Pies and Fat Frog Bar and Grill, was arrested and charged with attempted breaking or entering last week. A Town of Elon resident called police to report that a male wearing an Elon shirt was seen jiggling the doorknob to his residence. According to Elon police, when Usash was found in the area surrounding Orange Court, he was under the influence of alcohol. When talking to police, Usash apologized for what he called a mistake. We spoke to local criminal defense attorney Rick Champion to hear his thoughts on the situation.
I think it's going to be difficult for a judge to have proof beyond a reasonable doubt that at the time he wiggled the door handle, he had the intent to come in somebody's house that he didn't have permission to be at. I would plead not guilty if he was my client. I just think that it would be a difficult case to prove what his intent was to go in there without permission into someone's house he didn't know.
Peter Usash responded to our request for an interview with no comments, and all attempts to contact the complainant, William Stout, went unanswered. Municipal elections are next week, and our Andrew Feather is in studio with the candidates you need to know. Andrew?
We're 8 days from the 2015 municipal elections, and there are 3 races that will affect Elon and the surrounding areas. First, we have the Burlington mayoral election, which will pit Burlington City Councilman Jim Butler against 2008 Elon graduate Ian Baltutis. Butler's had 2 stretches on the city council from 2007 to 2011 and 2012 until now. He has formerly served as the chairman of the Alamance County Transportation Authority. If Butler wins the mayoral race, his spot on the city council will be filled through appointment. On the other side, Baltutis has never held office, but he has a history of running. He lost the election for Burlington mayor in 2013 to Ron Wall and lost to Stephen Ross for a seat in the North Carolina House last year. Currently, he owns the Vibration Solution, which makes anti-vibration pads for household appliances, and is the board president of the Burlington Beer Works Cooperative. Also in Burlington, the race for 2 seats on the city council. Current council members Kathy Hikes and Bob Ward look to defend their seats against Duke Divinity School student Kendall McBroom and accountant Patrick Millis. And finally, there are 3 open seats on the Elon Board of Aldermen. Incumbents Mark Green, Ron Klepsik, and John Peterson have all filed for re-election. Newcomer Jim Chanis seeks to win his first term on the board. For all your election updates, check out elonlocalnews.com. I'm Andrew Feather. Back to you, Jackie and Sky.
Coming up, it's officially fall concert season for a cappella groups, and we checked out the first group to perform this year.
And BBQ has a new color, pink. We catch up with a local business raising awareness for the cure, one rib at a time. Identification is a hot topic across the nation, but it's nothing new to the Elon community. With graduation on some seniors' minds, our Charlie Budd found out how the school is helping transgender students long after they leave Elon.
Elon University Registrar Rodney Parks is making big strides towards gender identification for students on campus.
And this year we actually had a first-year student that reached out to us and alerted us that this was, that she was coming and that she was transgendered, and she wanted it to go smoothly.
According to Parks, they initially started out by having students come to the office and say which name or pronoun they preferred to be called.
Once we did that, we started going through the process of becoming one of the first schools to actually indicate gender on class rolls, grade rolls, and advising screens.
Parks says despite all the work, they feel this is important for the students, faculty, and staff. And other schools have been reaching out to Elon for help.
We've already had 3 calls. So Tulane has already called and say, how does Elon do it? Certainly it was a big discussion with the University of Wisconsin, and a lot of these schools are, they're very proactive about trying to figure out ways to do this, and that many of them use the same student system that we use.
Parks says they have a lot of work left to do, but with no intention of slowing down. They intend to include suffixes, preferred gender, and most importantly, educating the faculty.
We need as a campus to educate and grow. We have the theme term coming up, and there's an opportunity for us to start, working through some of these diversity of initiatives.
Charlie Budd, Elon Local News.
The registrar's office is located in Alamance 102, and they encourage all students to come in with any questions or concerns.
Comedian and journalist Chloe Hilliard visited Elon to perform in a Razoo coffee shop Friday night. Hosted by Elon Student Union Board, the event was filled with laughs and snacks. While Hilliard was here for the humor, she uses her former journalistic skills to tie in content that will actually make audiences think about the world around them.
While Hilliard performed in Razoo, Whitley Auditorium was filled with music this weekend when the Shirley Tempos, an all-female a cappella group, performed their fall concert. The Tempos turned it up with 11 songs ranging from Green Day to old school Disney. With 8 new members this fall, the singers had to work hard to learn new songs. You can catch the Shirley Tempos at many different on-campus events throughout the year and their spring concert on April 16th. Coming up, a new chapter of how to approach reading, thanks to some furry friends.
I'm Michelle Alfini, and I'll have your Halloween forecast after the break.
Unfortunately, this weekend, sunny weather didn't last through today. Our Michelle Alfini is in downtown Elon to let us know if the sunshine will be back for the big Halloween weekend. Michelle?
Jackie and Sky, like you said, unfortunately, the warm weather and sunshine we had this weekend wasn't here to stay. Right now it's about 55 degrees, and tonight it's going to drop down to 48. But let's take a look at our Phoenix 5-day forecast to see if it'll heat up a little. So tomorrow we can expect showers and temperatures in the 50s and thunderstorms on Wednesdays. Luckily, Wednesday's temperatures are expected to heat up just a little with a high of 69 and a low of 55. It's looking like we'll have partly cloudy skies with a high of 70 and a low of 45 on Thursday, and the sun will finally peek out from behind the clouds on Friday and Saturday. To start off Halloween weekend, we'll have a high of 66 and a low of 39. And on the holiday itself, we can expect a high of 62 and a low of 43. This weekend looks like it'll be a little chillier than last weekend, so you might want to make sure your Halloween costume won't leave you freezing in this fall weather. But before we get to see a little bit of that sun, we'll have to hang through the showers that are coming up. I'm in downtown Elon. My name's Michelle Alfini. Sky and Jackie, back to you.
Thank you, Michelle. The sunshine this weekend was great, a great chance to be outside, but our Meredith Stutz found a few kids who wanted to spend an afternoon inside with the help of an unexpected friend.
11-year-old Maddie Westbrook likes coloring, math, and hanging out with her family and friends. But on Saturday, thanks to her mom's suggestion, Maddie and her siblings visited the May Memorial Library in downtown Burlington for something she wasn't particularly excited about at first.
Stronger than Super Dude to eat that stuff.
But her dislike of reading may start to change thanks to Shaka, a 4-year-old rescue that was given a second chance at life after being adopted by Kathleen Johns.
The Border Collie piece, it picks up lessons really quickly and they want to please you. But he has the loving nature of the lab.
For 3 years, the two have been a part of the Pause for Reading program, a national organization that pairs kids with registered therapy dogs for free.
Being in a situation where it's not judgmental and they feel, kind of loved.
Shaka and the 4 other dogs that come to the library each month do more than just help kids read.
Somebody was listening to me, and nobody really listens to me.
Which Kathleen says has health benefits.
It lowers the blood pressure, the stress level, so that helps the child in general.
Even with a deeper meaning behind the companionship of Pause for Reading, Maddie sees Shaka as
supportive,
but mainly
fluffy and soft.
And as for Shaka, it's another rewarding afternoon both for the pooch and Maddie.
You did a wonderful job reading that book.
Meredith Stutz, Elon Local News.
And coming up, we take a road trip to the biggest barbecue festival in the world. Welcome back to Elon Local News. Fall is here, and while the temperature is dropping, that doesn't mean community involvement is doing the same. Our Connor McCoy found one local business that teamed up with its neighbors to help those across the country.
A local barbecue restaurant, Tickle My Ribs, hosted their second Q for the Cure event for Little Pink Houses of Hope this past weekend. Their goal? To raise $25,000 for families of cancer patients.
I want people to walk away from this inspired to be part of it next year, and also to creating more of an awareness.
Mark Gibbons and his wife started the event last year as a way to make a difference.
People started calling us before we even announced the event, saying, what can we do to help? Where do you need us at? Is there anything that we can contribute?
Many other local businesses came out to support the event, and even Elon Athletics donated several items to be raffled off. And while the event means a lot to the community, the real motivation is for the survivors.
It brings the community out together. It brings recognition to what Little Pink is and what Little Pink does for everyone.
For people like Rosa Smith, Little Pink Houses of Hope offers several cancer patients and their families a retreat away from their doctor's appointments and chemo tests to connect with others in their situation.
We all went in as strangers in the beginning of the week, but we came away family.
Smith was cured last March and now volunteers with Little Pink Houses of Hope by talking with other cancer patients about her experience with the organization.
It's made me live stronger, laugh harder, and love deeper.
With a large turnout from the community and plenty of activities, Gibbons hopes to continue supporting the community through ribs. Connor McCoy, Elon Local News.
The event may be over, but you can still support cancer patients and their families by visiting littlepinkhousesofhope.org.
And barbecue wasn't just in Burlington this weekend. Our Brian Anderson headed west to visit one of the biggest events in the country.
It's an event that attracts thousands of people from across the country each year. I'm talking, of course, about the Lexington Barbecue Festival. From kettle corn to sandwiches to barbecue trays, the festival has it all. Just ask Jonathan Jones, who made the long journey from California.
I haven't really had like real barbecue in forever, so it's kind of nice to actually taste it and get the real taste of it.
Here in Lexington, people may come for the barbecue, but they stay for so much more.
Jim Quick and Coastline was one of the more popular bands to hit the stage, so popular that Burlington native Marie Barber mainly came for the music.
I love to listen to the bands. We just listened to Jim Quick. It was fantastic. We're going to eat barbecue, and then we're going to another band. They have bands all over the place.
Cameron Dudley, the lead drummer for Jim Quick and the Coastline, is a 1993 Elon grad. He says students pursuing a career in music should try to get as much experience as possible.
Just play. You got to get out and play different styles of music with different folks and, get your name out.
The Lexington Barbecue Festival also held several attractions for a younger audience, including animal races.
Number 24!
But for one kid, the Barbecue Festival had nothing to do with food, music, or even pig races.
When I watched them, they're Thomas.
But if you ask me, it still comes down to the food.
Brian Anderson, Elon Local News.
That was the 32nd annual festival in Lexington and brought in more than 100,000 people to try world-renowned barbecue.
While they may not be royalty, our John Curtis went to the Piedmont Dragway to look at the Kings of Grudge.
When it comes to motorcycle racing, there's nobody badder than grudge racers.
We're the baddest motorcycles on the planet, baby. We the baddest, pretty much the fastest of the fast.
At the Stupid Fast Fall Classic this weekend, racers had both their money and reputations at stake.
If you think you can beat them, say, hey man, I'm faster than you, what you want to do? You want to put your pride on the line or whatever you want to do, let's line them up and let's go.
Now the grudge races are simple. They all start here with a 3, 2, 1 countdown. And only an eighth of a mile later, this is where they finish.
Try to beat the guy to the finish line and turn the wind light on the other end.
And they don't call it the Stupid Fast Fall Classic for nothing.
Man, some of these guys going 170, 180 miles an hour in an eighth of a mile. Not quarter of a mile, not a whole mile. They're going 160, 170, 180 miles an hour in eighth of a mile.
Now with that kind of speed, some people might express concern. But Scotty Keller, who has been racing since he was 8 years old, loves the adrenaline that comes with racing.
It's whatever you like, whatever you enjoy. Some people like playing golf, some people like drag racing. It's just whoever you are.
To compete with guys like Scotty, confidence is key. But most importantly, you just gotta be fast. John Curtis, Elon Local News.
The next King of Grudge event is on December 11th in Bradenton, Florida.
Thanks so much for joining us this evening.
You can find our stories online at elonlocalnews.com or follow us on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Elon Local News.
And we also have a new app. ELN doesn't have to end when our show does. Search Elon Local News on the App Store for the latest in Elon news, entertainment, and sports 24/7.
From all of us here at ELN, have a great night, Elon.